Did you know that Greater Lansing is the festival capital of Michigan? I didn't know that until recently. In fact, there are over 60 festivals in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. In this video, I'm gonna touch on a lot of the festivals that happen throughout the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. And in fact, be sure to stay tuned until the end because I'm going to tell you what my absolute favorite festival is and probably the favorites of a lot of other people's. But hey, if you disagree, you can definitely put it in the comments below. So let's get started with this next episode of Lansing, Michigan Life right now. Hey everybody, Troy Seyfert here with the Capital Area Real Estate Specialist in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. I'm a top producing realtor in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. I've been doing this for several years, and I get phone calls from all over the country from people who are just like you watching this channel, people who are looking to move to the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. And whether you're looking to move here in 9 days, 90 days, or 9 months from now, I would love to be able to speak with you. So feel free to call me, text me, email me, or schedule a Zoom call with me. All my information to contact me is in the description below, so be sure to check that out. And also, if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it if you would at least like this video. Liking it is great, but also if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe or ring the bell, ding, 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 for notifications so that you can be the first to be notified when a new episode of Lansing, Michigan Life goes live. And we have new episodes going live once or twice a week, so you're definitely gonna wanna ring that bell. In this episode, I love being able to talk about the different festivals in Lansing because people all the time say, oh, there's nothing to do in Lansing, there's nothing to do, okay? And I've addressed that in other videos. Well, let's talk about the festivals because, again, Lansing, it's not Grand Rapids, it's not Detroit, known as the festival capital of Michigan. It is Greater Lansing. So the first festival that I want to feature in here is actually one that's just gonna be unique only to Lansing. No one else is gonna have it. And I'm shooting this in the month of May, and it's actually very, very close, or it might have already just happened, is a festival known as the 517 Festival. 517 Festival. Why don't you call it 517 Festival? Why do you call it 517? What is 517, Troy? What are you talking about? Well, the 517 Festival is unique to Lansing because that is the area code that is used on many cell phones. So your phone number when you move here, if you live in Lansing, it's more than likely going to be 517. In some suburbs, it could be a different area code. More than likely, you're gonna have a 517 area code. So that's something that's extremely unique, and Lansing has embraced that number and just become very creative with it because 517 on the calendar would be May the 17th. So they designated 517 Day in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. So they have a festival that has street vendors and events that are happening. I believe there's a 5K as well. They have all these different events that happen. At Lansing Lugnut Stadium, you can go there, you can get a discounted ticket. I believe that's $5. You can get discounted concessions. They embrace the 517. They give you one thing for $5, one thing for $1, one thing for $7. And I believe that all adds up to $13 total. They try to make a deal out of it. And then also something that I didn't realize until just this year, I think this might be the first time they've done it this year, or first time to my knowledge that they've done it this year, is they have a restaurant week where they're doing it, in celebration of 517 Day. And so for an entire week, you go to certain local only restaurants, so not chain restaurants, local only restaurants. They'll offer you a discounted entree or appetizer and then also a discounted drink. I think it's super cool that the restaurants in Lansing are embracing it. I feel as the years go on that it will just continue to expand because it is a very creative concept. So I'm hoping more businesses, more restaurants will just take advantage of this great day for Lansing, and that it'll just be a good thing for the city, that people will just love having a day that's all about our area. So I definitely want to feature that festival first. So let's go to another portion of Lansing that I haven't featured yet. I'm gonna do a vlog tour on it, but it's known as Old Town Lansing. Old Town Lansing is just north of the downtown area. It's in the north central part. And it's a place that got built up in the 90s. It was really run down for a while, and then all these boutique shops and restaurants were there. There's a fish ladder that's over there. It's just a great place for people to gather, and great for the art scene as well. So when I look on the calendar for Old Town, if you just go on their website, Old Town's website, you will see that they literally have a festival each and every weekend, like during the summertime. and even going into the fall. But some of the ones I want to highlight that they have are they have a jazz festival. They bring in local artists that play jazz. They have a blues festival. They also have an art scrap festival where they make art with just scrap metal and create these masterpieces throughout. You know, those are the ones that I definitely want to highlight, but they have festivals every single week. That if you're somebody that just really loves going to these festivals every single summer, you're definitely gonna want to hang out in Old Town Lansing. The next area in just Lansing proper that I want to highlight is Rio Town. It's spelled R-E-O Town, but we call it Rio Town. And it's another like downtown area, but it's like just one strip that has some restaurants and it has an event center. And it's really been built up kind of like Old Town. And they have what's known as the Lansing Beer Fest. And that happens in the month of June, where they bring 20 Michigan breweries, and it's all local just to Michigan, where they have food vendors and live music as well. Big festival that they do, so definitely don't want to miss that as well. The last thing I want to feature in the Lansing area that they do in the month of August for all you comic book lovers, they are going to have a Capital City Area Comic-Con. And the last thing I want to feature in the Lansing proper area, this is close to downtown in the Lansing Center. For all of you comic book lovers, they do bring Comic-Con here to the Lansing area. It's inside, again, the Lansing Center, 72,000 square foot convention center. They're gonna be here for a weekend in August, and they usually come every year. So for all you comic book lovers, that is there for you as well. Now I'm gonna kind of spread out a little bit to the greater, because I said this is the Greater Lansing area, right? Not just Lansing proper. So the first thing I want to feature that they do in the summer is they have the Ingham County Fair. So those of you who want rides and you want to be able to see all the different animals that are out there as well and all the different presentations, the Ingham County Fair is where you're going to want to be. That's at the end of July, I believe, and that is in the southern part of Ingham County, so that it is further away. It's closer to Mason, where they have it at the Ingham County Fairgrounds. If you're really into fairs and you're coming from an area where they have fairs, Ingham County Fair is where you're gonna want to go. I mean, I know Eaton County has their own fair as well, but Ingham County is definitely in the Greater Lansing area going to be the best fair option for you. I'm gonna go to East Lansing next, and East Lansing is where Michigan State University, before COVID, it seemed like East Lansing had a lot more festivals that they had. Like I went to a folk festival, which I thought was extremely cool that they had, and they don't have that anymore. But East Lansing still has 3 main festivals that they have in their downtown. One of them is the Art Fair, and that actually happens in the middle of May. It's actually right around 517 Festival that I just talked about earlier. They also have Solstice Jazz Fest, which is when the summer solstice is, which is in the month of June. And that's a big draw for people to come and be able to hear local jazz musicians as well. And then they also have, in the winter months, they have the East Lansing Film Festival. So for all independent filmmakers, that's a big draw that brings people in to be able just to see anything in regards to movies and the arts as well. So that's East Lansing. For other areas, like you go to Grand Ledge, they have Yankee Doodle Days, which is right around 4th of July time, and they have a parade that happens there in the Grand Ledge area. Williamston has what's known as the Jubilee, which happens in June, where again, it's like a parade in downtown Williamston. They're not like, huge events, but they're decent sized events that the city is extremely proud of. So I want to move further north of Lansing. It's going to be about 20 to 25 minutes away in St. John's. In St. John's, each and every year, they have what's known as the Mint Festival. Mint Festival for people in St. John's is a huge deal, and it usually happens within the first 2 weeks of August. I love going there. They have a lot of vendors that are there. They have food trucks. They have fair rides. The big draw is that they feature mint, because they're a large producer of mint. So they have mint ice cream. They also have like other sports tournaments that happen as well. So the Mint Festival is definitely a great event to be able to go to if you have nothing else to do in the beginning of August. Then usually the week after the Mint Festival in Dewitt is what's known as the Ox Roast. It's just a yearly tradition. It's not like Dewitt has they have like all this ox meat everywhere that they're known for that, right? But they do have ox meat that's there if you want to have a you know, if you want to have an ox roast sandwich, you know, or whatever. But it's just a small little gathering of, you know, live bands, live music. They have some rides there. It's right there in the downtown of Dewitt. The one thing I don't love about the festival is because it is a little bit more crammed because it's right there in the downtown. It gets really crowded and congested. But I do know that, like, as the years have gone on, like, they've really tried to expand it out so that it doesn't feel as congested in there on the weekend. But ox roast, you know, another great one. Then also during the wintertime, something that I want to feature that they do have some indoor festivals, and that, like, Lansing Center is gonna be one of the places that's gonna have the indoor festivals. So they usually have a women's expo every single year. And then Lansing has a expo center where they have the home and garden show in March, which is a big deal because everyone's trying to prepare for their house and landscaping. So all the vendors, all the people, all the companies that are around the Greater Lansing area usually show up there. Costs money to be able to get into that festival as well at the Home and Garden Show. So I like being able to go there, especially being in real estate. And I'm somebody in real estate that has a lot of, you know, vendors, you know, as well. So that's what's valuable about using me as a realtor. So again, reach out to me in the contact info below. You know, just a little plug there for you. But during the wintertime as well, like I think I said, they also have the East Lansing Film Festival. It usually happens in February and March. So the festivals just don't go away during the summertime. They do have them during the wintertime. But my favorite festival, and it does happen during the wintertime, and I have featured it on a video before, but I think Lansing does such a great job with this, and it is Silver Bells in the City. And they don't say the Silver Bells in the City Festival, but it's still a festival, folks. And it always happens the weekend before Thanksgiving. And they have this long parade that usually lasts for an hour to an hour and a half. They are bringing more people in from across the state, high school bands. They have a float where they have, you know, a drum line playing as well. So it's super cool. And they have vendors there as well. And then they have a drone show in front of the Capitol building. And then they have a huge fireworks show. And for the kids, they can meet Santa and Mrs. Claus. They can see live reindeer. And I'm telling you, like, for the size city that Greater Lansing is, which we are about 500,000 people. And then in Lansing, Michigan alone, it's a little under 200,000 people in Lansing proper. Being able to have that in our community is awesome. And so every single time I go there every single year. It's been a tradition. And so you're definitely not gonna wanna miss it. And again, it always happens the week before Thanksgiving. So as you guys can see, a lot of things to do. I said there's over 60 festivals. I touched on maybe 20% of them, okay? There are a lot of festivals throughout our area. So when you come here, don't believe the lies of people saying there's nothing to do, because there definitely is. There's always something to do in our great city of Lansing, Michigan. Again, I thank you for watching this video. And if you haven't already, please like this video. Also, if you haven't subscribed, or also ring the bell, ding, 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 for notifications. Again, so that you can be the first to be notified when a new episode like this goes live. And then if you haven't already, please reach out to me, call me, text me, email me, schedule a Zoom call with me. All my information is in the description below. I know tons about Lansing, Michigan. I would love to be able to tell you what is so great about our area. Again, folks, thanks again for watching this. And until next time, make it a great day. Take care.